All right, everybody, I'd like to introduce our next presenter here at the Planet MicroCap Showcase Vancouver. From Society Pass Inc., we have Rokas Sidlauskas. Rokas, take it away.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. So my name is Rokas Sidlauskas. I'm a Chief Marketing Officer at the Society Pass, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about what it is that we do and our plans for the future. So Society Pass is a fintech e-commerce holding company focused on building the next generation digital ecosystem and loyalty platform in Southeast Asia. So we have been incorporated in 2018 here in United States in Nevada. Our primary headquarters is in Singapore, and we operate companies across multiple field offices in Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, Jakarta, Indonesia, Manila, the Philippines, and Bangkok in Thailand. We were listed on NASDAQ on November 9th, 2021 under the ticker SOPA, and currently have a market capitalization of about $12.3 million as of yesterday. And we currently employ over 200 staff across our group of companies. So as I was mentioning, we operate in what I believe to be the most exciting part of the world right now, Southeast Asia. We are currently operating 6 interconnected verticals: loyalty, lifestyle, F&B, telecoms, digital advertising, and travel. Since our incorporation, we have managed to onboard over 3.3 million registered customers across all of our ventures, as well as over 650,000 merchants. Our plan within the next 5 years is to grow that registered customer number to over 50 million and have circa 3 million partner merchants within our platforms. So since in the beginning, I mentioned that we are a fintech and e-commerce holding company. So since our incorporation, we have been pretty busy acquiring companies in Southeast Asia, which is reflected in the total current assets since our inception. And that's what we're planning to do for the next couple of years, to acquire complementary companies to support our existing business verticals, to add a couple of geographies, most likely Malaysia and Taiwan, and further expand within the region. As you can see, we have been growing pretty fast. I think this year we're looking to post revenue circa $13 million USD. So since our inception, we've been growing between 500 to 1,000% year on year. And hopefully a lot of this is obviously due to acquisitions that we have made in the last couple of years, but we're hoping to maintain this speed for the next few years ahead. Very briefly, our executive team, actually I shouldn't be speaking here today. Our chairman and founder, Dennis, couldn't make it due to a personal emergency. But briefly about myself, I've been in Asia for about 12 to 15 years. I started in digital marketing. I helped to co-found an agency in Malaysia called Lion & Lion. After a couple of years, we exited that to a Japanese holding company for about $20 million. And ever since then, I have been involved in various e-commerce projects within Southeast Asia. As you can see at some of the profiles within our team, especially Dennis, he's a big capital markets guy. I will be able to share this presentation with all of you for further reading. Yeah, this is the rest of our C-suite based all over Southeast Asia. But yeah, what is it that we're doing? So I'd like to kind of deep dive a little bit into the ecosystem that we are building. As I was mentioning, we have a telecoms company. I will go into further detail talking about all of these ventures in the next few slides, but we're very focused on building an integrated ecosystem that kind of works off each other and provides value for the merchants as well as the consumers. Now, the three principal points within SOPA that we believe is that more revenue generation for merchants leads to creation of customer loyalty. More customer loyalty creation leads to more consumers for merchants, and more consumers for merchants leads to greater revenues for those merchants. Let me quickly deep dive into the projects and the actual business units that we operate. So very recently, we have launched our SOPA loyalty wallet. Now, what makes this wallet very different from currently existing products in the market? Loyalty has been around since the Egyptians, right? Like you can go all the way back of workers being incentivized during the early American Revolution days. You had merchants incentivizing customers with copper coins to come back and purchase again. We see that the current loyalty, which operates under two primary models, is a little bit outdated. So one, think of your business-centric loyalty platforms, right? You can go to a Starbucks here in Vancouver, use your Starbucks points, and then once you cross the border to Seattle, those points are meaningless, right? And that's one company that operates across multiple geographies. They're not recognized. Two, if you look at more industry-specific customer loyalty, take airline program miles, right? Takes such a long time to accumulate points. The application of points is limited to a seat upgrade or a cost reduction, which is fine, but we believe these loyalty platforms can go a little bit further. So what's different about our loyalty platform? Now, as I mentioned, we operate across multiple geographies in Southeast Asia. Our loyalty platform is redeemable and usable across multiple geographies and multiple business verticals, right? So in layman terms, we operate a travel company based out of Jakarta, Indonesia. Any of you can buy a ticket via our travel agency and get rewarded with SOPA loyalty points. You can redeem those points immediately via our e-commerce platform in Vietnam, or you can use those points with Gorilla Global, which is our travel eSIM, meaning that as a user, you get rewarded for a lot of your daily microtransactions. And at the same time, you don't need to wait to accumulate points. You're able to take them and immediately redeem them regardless of your geography or the business vertical where those points were accumulated in the first place. So this is going to be the nexus of the next few years of what we do. And we're super excited about this project. We currently have 3 of our BUs integrated into this. It's still very, very early days, but for customers in Indonesia and Vietnam, they are already able to start using this service on day-to-day basis. SOPA Media Group is our digital advertising company, originally based out of Bangkok. Over the last year since we acquired it, we opened offices in Saigon, Vietnam, as well as Jakarta and Manila, Philippines. Primarily 2 services, multi-channel marketing, as well as premium services for brands. We're super excited about this business. We're looking to double the revenues since 2020. Sorry, this is supposed to be 2022. We're looking to double the revenues over the last year. Next, we have NusaTrip that I mentioned. This is the oldest online travel agency based out of Jakarta, Indonesia. We're super excited about this company as well. Recently, we acquired V-Leisure, which is a hotel booking arm based out of Vietnam. Currently, we're in the process of expanding NusaTrip across all of our markets that we operate in, and we're looking to make a couple of strategic acquisitions, specifically within the hotel vertical, to complement this. By 2023, our GMV numbers hopefully are going to surpass 100 million. So we are working very hard towards that, but think of it as a booking.com in Southeast Asia, and that's exactly the direction that we are building this company towards. Next, recently we have incorporated Next Retail. This is a vehicle, maybe a little bit premature of putting it here on the slide. But this is the vehicle that we're using to make a couple of acquisitions right now in Indonesia as well as the Philippines. This company will allow us to make that connection of offline, online, online to offline, primarily within the electronic sector. So for those of you who are following Society Pass, I think within the next couple of weeks, we are going to finalize and make an announcement on a couple of successful acquisitions within the retail sector in Indonesia and in the Philippines. Next, this is actually the first venture that Society Pass acquired. It's called La Flare. It's a fashion and lifestyle platform based out of Ho Chi Minh City. So it sells thousands of products, started off as a luxury good reseller, focusing on flash sales. Now we are operating in fashion, accessories, cosmetics, home appliances, and electronics. This company was acquired in distress since it wasn't able to sustain operating expenses during the pandemic. And it's actually the company that allowed Society Pass to list on NASDAQ. We are actively also working to grow this organically, as well as make a couple of acquisitions in Southeast Asia to complement this business and to have a much more regional footprint. Gorilla. Gorilla is one of my personal favorites. It's a telecoms company that we acquired in Singapore. We have spent the last 7 months rebuilding the code and really making it a lot more robust for our global expansion. This business essentially replaces a traditional SIM card and allows users to purchase data plans in any market around the world, and within minutes stay connected with family and friends back home. So we're excited about this project because it has a lot of synergy with Nusatrip, and we're looking to grow this over the next year. We're actually in the process of testing and launching a feature called Switchback, allowing users to take any unused credit after their trip and to convert it back into Society points, so you can use those points again to make a next purchase or whatever it might be. So currently, this company is based between Singapore and Manila, but we're looking to operate it and to grow it across various regions around the world. A few quick investment highlights. As I was mentioning, we are operating across 6 unique verticals in a very promising geography. I think geography is probably the most exciting thing about the things that we do. I don't know how many of you have been to Southeast Asia recently. I find it a very fascinating region. However, some metrics are very eye-opening, right? Something like 60–70%, depending on the market, are unbanked in a traditional sense, right? So we're still operating on cash on delivery. A lot of people don't have credit cards, meaning that there have to be various options introduced to digitize that customer and to digitize his experience within Society Pass. So, for example, with regards to our loyalty program, we're currently working with everybody from Alipay to GrabPay to Apple Pay and etc. to integrate these services and these digital wallets into our product. But overall, we operate in a market of over 500 million people. Just to give you some interesting insights about demographics, Vietnam is about 100 million people. Over 55% are under 30, which is super exciting. I think I personally spent the last 6 years in Saigon. When Zara, Uniqlo, and H&M opened up the first store in Vietnam, for all 3 brands, it was the biggest opening globally. So the middle class has been pretty keen to see the arrival of a lot of services and products. Same if I look towards Indonesia or the Philippines, every single time there is a talks of recession or etc., this part of the world maintains a certain level of robustness and continues to show high growth numbers compared to the rest of the world. And yeah, as I was mentioning, we operate in super exciting markets. We are looking to make a number of acquisitions over the next couple of years. And also, experienced management team. We have about 50% of employees, of management employees are females across Society Pass. Challenges about building a business are mostly related to people. I think that has been the biggest obstacle for various business units that we have, is finding the correct people, right? Like it's a very different approach to work, a very different approach to skills, and unfortunately that is lacking. But we hope that over the next few years we will be able to not only attract talent but put them in the right positions to drive our companies towards growth. So thank you very much. If anybody has any questions, I'm very happy to answer them.
Confused. So is the business model acquire companies and overlay the Society Pass platform over the top? Is that essentially the business model?
So that's a great question. Thank you. We do have ambitions to spin off a few companies in the future. Now, overall, the major, all of our business units will continue to grow them organically as well as via acquisitions. But the primary product of the company is the loyalty platform. So the loyalty platform will kind of be planted on top of all the BUs. Now, we own all the companies 100%. So as long as it's left pocket, right pocket, it's quite easy for us to kind of get those economics and tokenomics right. In the future, we'll definitely make Society Pass loyalty app open source. So companies who do see the value in the user base, the merchant base, they will be able to plug in and take advantage of that ecosystem that we're building.
Okay, so you've got external merchants that are plugging into yours.
Yes, 650,000. Yeah.
Like you kind of mentioned, like the opportunity to redeem the points across different verticals, but maybe just speaking, like, since the loyalty you mentioned is kind of at the top of the umbrella, like what are the main synergies that you guys have between those verticals?
So let me walk you through a good example. Every single time a person is making a purchase in NusaTrip, we create a dummy account for them on SOPA Loyalty, right? So for example, you might not be a user of either. However, by making a purchase in NusaTrip, I will create a dummy account for you. So next time you log in as a first-time user, you will find some points from the purchase that you just recently made. Now, those points, within the app, there's a marketplace, right? So you're able to take those points and buy, for example, the eSIM from Gorilla, because if you bought a ticket to fly somewhere via NusaTrip, quite likely that you might need to stay in touch with family or friends back home. So we will upsell you, or you will be able to buy the eSIM by yourself, right? Let's say you bought a ticket and you travel to Vietnam, right? You might want to do some shopping. You can get the next day with delivery something from LaFleur and use those points to either create a discount or to just use those points straight up to purchase a product from our lifestyle and fashion platform. Same thing for Philippines. We have a food delivery business in Manila. So if you find yourself in Manila and you want to order some food, you will be able to, again, use those points to offset from the initial price, or to just use those points completely to cover the price. And again, for that purchase, you will again be credited with some more society points as a thank you for the next purchase that you made within the ecosystem. So we currently operate 8 companies. Now, I hope, and the internal expectation is that over the next few years, we will acquire 30 to 50 companies to complement and to continue grow that ecosystem. So it would just become a lot of micro transactions that you do every day, right? Ordering food or buying clothes or using a phone, as an example. All right, I think there's no more questions. Thank you very much.